You didn't raise your voice, you didn't interrupt, you gave her a fair answer, and she stopped bringing you the hard stuff. You thought that meant things were getting better. It didn't. She just learned what happens when she opens up to you. Look at the proof you've been using. You stayed calm. When she came to you upset, you didn't blow up. You didn't make it about you. Your voice stayed level the whole time. You let her finish. You didn't cut her off. You waited until she was done before you said anything. You gave her a real answer. You didn't just stare at her or tell her what she wanted to hear. You actually thought about what she said and gave her your honest take. Maybe you offered another way to see it. Maybe you pointed out a detail that changed the picture. You called that being engaged. And yeah, it was. You didn't escalate. No fight, no drama. The room stayed quiet. And lately, there are fewer of those heavy talks at all. So you read that as progress. Things feel easier now. That's the proof you've been using. And on paper, it looks solid. But here's what that leaves out. None of that tells you whether she felt understood before you started giving your side of it. None of it tells you what she did after your first response. Did she open up more, or did she get shorter? Did she keep going, or did she start wrapping it up? Your evidence measures how you handled yourself. It doesn't tell you whether she felt heard. Those are not the same thing. And you've probably been grading yourself on the wrong one. Did you answer what she said, or did you miss what she was really asking for underneath it? You have been accused of things that were not fair before. You know what it feels like when somebody tells a story about you and leaves out the part where you were trying. So when your wife talks about something painful and gets a detail wrong, something in you tightens up. Not because you don't care, because you know what happens when a wrong detail just sits there. It becomes the version people remember. So you learn to stay with the facts. You listen for what actually happened. You catch the part that seems off, and you bring it up, calmly, because you think a conversation built on a wrong read of what happened is not going anywhere good. You offer another angle when you see one. You were taught that honesty is part of love, that a husband who agrees with everything is not really there. He is just trying to keep her calm, and you do not want to be that guy. And there is something else under that too. You think if you can show her it was not as bad as it felt, maybe she does not have to carry it the rest of the night. That is not you trying to brush her off. You are trying to make it lighter for her. From your side, explaining yourself does not feel like dodging what she said. It feels like asking to be seen fairly, and trying to be fair back. She is standing in the kitchen after work. She starts telling you about a meeting where her manager called out her project in front of the whole team. She is not asking you to fix it. She is not looking for a strategy. She is telling you what it felt like to sit in that chair while it was happening. You listen. You wait until she finishes. Then you say something like, "Is it possible he was just making a general point and used your project as the example? It might not have been aimed at you." From your side, that sounds fair. You are trying to give it a wider read so she does not carry the worst version of it around all night. You're being calm. You're being honest. But watch what happens next. She pauses. The part she was about to say, about how small it made her feel, about the quiet in the room after he said it, never comes out. She says, "Yeah, maybe." Then she asks what you want for dinner. There was no fight, no slammed cabinet. She did not get upset with you. She just got shorter. The story she came in with had two parts, and only the top part made it into the room. The second part, what it felt like to be her in that moment, she pulled back. Your first move told her that before her feelings could land with you, they had to pass a fact check. You answered the detail and missed what she was actually handing you. She was not bringing you a case about her manager. She was bringing you what it felt like to be her in that chair. And now she is asking about dinner. So what happened there? Did you actually help? Or did you just correct a story she had not finished telling? Run that forward 6 months. She still talks to you. She still tells you about her day. But before she says anything, there's a quiet sorting going on that neither of you talks about. She's figured out which version of the story is safe to bring to you, and which one is going to get picked apart, weighed, and gently corrected. So you get the lighter version, the one where she's already okay, the one where she already has perspective on it, the one where she already decided it wasn't a big deal. That version goes down easy. It doesn't pull your analytical side into it. It keeps the evening smooth. The heavier version, where she felt small or unsure or stung, where she doesn't even know what to think yet, that version starts going somewhere else. To her sister, to a friend on the drive home, or nowhere. You don't see it because nothing dramatic happens. She still mentions the hard day. She still brings up the name. She just leaves out the part where it hurt. You hear the headline, not the weight under it. And because there's no fight, no follow-up, no tension at dinner, you don't think anything is missing. If anything, the marriage feels easier. Fewer hard conversations, less friction at the end of the day. You might even think the two of you got better at this, more mature, more steady. You hear fewer complaints, and you take that as progress. But here's what actually happened. She stopped expecting the heavy version to land with you, so she stopped bringing it. You're not getting a calmer wife. You're getting an edited one. And that gap matters. That's the difference between a marriage getting closer and a marriage slowly losing what was real between you. Listen. By the time the complaints stop, the part of her that used to bring them may have already stopped trying to reach you. The old measure was simple. Did you stay calm? Did you stay honest? Did you really try to engage? Did the conversation end without a fight? By that measure, you've probably looked fine for years. Anybody watching those conversations would say you were trying. But that measure only tells you how you handled yourself. It doesn't tell you if she felt understood. The better measure is what your first response made her do next. Did she lean in more? Did she say the harder things she hadn't said yet? Did she come back an hour later and add something she couldn't get out the first time? Or did the story get shorter? Did she switch to logistics? Did she wrap it up with, yeah, maybe, and move on? Not whether your take on it was technically right, not whether you stayed fair. What matters is whether she felt safe enough, after your first response, to keep going instead of pulling back. A husband can be honest, calm, fair, and fully engaged, and still be the reason his wife stops bringing him the part of her life that needs the most care. Not because he's cruel, because understanding was never the first thing he offered. Accuracy came first. And by the time he gets around to understanding, she already knows this isn't the conversation she was trying to have. You answered her carefully. The next time something hurt, she either brought you more of it, or she brought you less. Pause equals 2.5 seconds.
A like is 1 second. The conversation you keep walking away from is 15 minutes. You can't hold 15 yet. Start with 1.